When we board a plane, we trust the pilots to fly us safely to our destination. But there is another team working tirelessly behind the scenes, a group of unseen sentinels who manage the highways in the sky. This is the world of air traffic control, or ATC. These dedicated professionals are responsible for guiding every single aircraft from takeoff to landing. They monitor radar screens, communicate with pilots, and coordinate movements to ensure planes maintain a safe distance from one another. Their work is a complex ballet of precision and constant communication, preventing collisions and keeping the flow of air traffic moving smoothly and efficiently across the country and the world. The importance of this system cannot be overstated. It is the backbone of aviation safety. Imagine a busy highway with no traffic lights, no lane markings, and no police officers. That is what our skies would look like without the guidance of air traffic controllers. They are the eyes and ears on the ground, providing pilots with critical information about weather conditions, runway status, and the positions of other nearby aircraft. Every instruction they give is designed to prevent conflict and maintain order. The safety margins they enforce are what allow thousands of flights to operate every day without incident, making air travel one of the safest forms of transportation available to us. Infrastructure in the context of aviation refers to all the physical and technological systems that support this operation. This includes the control towers themselves, the runways and taxiways at airports, and the complex network of radar and communication equipment. It is the hardware and software that allows controllers to see and speak to pilots. This infrastructure is just as critical as the human controllers who operate it. When it works perfectly, it provides a clear, real-time picture of the airspace. But when this technology is old or fails, the entire system is placed under enormous strain, creating dangerous blind spots for those tasked with our safety. To understand its role, think of the equipment as the controller's senses. Radar systems are their eyes, allowing them to track planes far beyond what the human eye can see. Radio communication is their voice, enabling them to give life-saving instructions to pilots miles away. The computers they use process vast amounts of data to predict flight paths and potential conflicts. For this system to function, every single component must be reliable and up-to-date. The health of this infrastructure is directly linked to the safety of every person who flies, making its maintenance and modernization a matter of national importance and a top priority for ensuring public safety. For years, the U.S. aviation system has been struggling with a hidden crisis. Much of the technology that our air traffic controllers rely on is decades old. An FAA report from 2024 revealed a startling fact. Thousands of sites across the country are still using outdated systems. This includes computers from the 1990s, communication lines made of copper instead of modern fiber optics, and in some cases, even floppy disks. This aging equipment is prone to failure, which can have immediate and severe consequences. When these systems go down, controllers can lose their ability to see or communicate with aircraft, creating moments of extreme danger and uncertainty in the skies above us. We have seen the real-world impact of these technological failures. In April 2024, at Newark Liberty Airport, a critical radar system went offline for just 90 seconds because of failing copper wires. That brief outage was enough to ground thousands of flights and lead to over 1,000 cancellations, disrupting travel for countless people. A similar ground stop happened again in May of 2025, showing the system's persistent fragility. Air traffic controllers have described the situation as playing Russian roulette, a chilling comparison that highlights the immense pressure they face while working with equipment that could fail at any moment. These incidents are not just inconveniences, they are serious warnings about the state of our aviation infrastructure. This technological crisis is made even worse by a critical shortage of staff. The FAA is currently facing a 30-year low in the number of certified air traffic controllers. At key facilities like the Philadelphia TRACON, which manages air traffic for a busy region, there is a 20% shortfall in staff. This means the controllers who are on duty are forced to work incredibly long hours, often 60 hours a week, just to keep the system running. This level of overwork leads to fatigue, which is a major safety risk. A tired controller is more likely to make a mistake, and in the high-stakes world of aviation, even a small error can have catastrophic consequences. The combination of old technology and exhausted staff creates a perfect storm for potential disaster. When controllers are stretched thin, they have less capacity to handle unexpected events, such as a sudden equipment failure or a pilot error. The safety margins that are built into the system begin to shrink, and the risk of near misses or even accidents increases significantly. This is not a theoretical problem. It is a daily reality for the men and women in our control towers. The public's dissatisfaction is growing, with a 2024 poll showing that 68% of travelers rate air travel reliability as poor or fair, reflecting the system's visible strain. In response to this growing crisis, the federal government is taking significant steps to modernize our aviation infrastructure. Acknowledging the urgent need for upgrades, the FAA launched a multi-billion-dollar modernization plan in May 2024. This ambitious three-year initiative aims to overhaul the nation's air traffic control system from the ground up, with a target completion date of 2028. The plan focuses on replacing outdated copper wiring with high-speed fiber optics, upgrading ground-based radar to more accurate satellite-based tracking systems, and digitizing the entire workflow for air traffic controllers. This is a monumental effort to bring our aviation technology into the 21st century. This modernization is powered by major federal funding initiatives. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021 was a landmark piece of legislation that allocated billions of dollars specifically for aviation. As of early 2025, the Airport Infrastructure Grants Program, funded by this act, has already distributed nearly $12 billion of its $15 billion authorization. The act specifically set aside $17 billion for the modernization of air traffic control systems and another $6 billion for critical improvements at hotspot airports like Newark, which have experienced severe problems. These funds represent a historic investment in the safety and reliability of our skies. The distribution of these funds is already making a difference at airports across the country. Throughout 2024 and into 2025, the FAA has announced several rounds of grants, sending hundreds of millions of dollars to projects in nearly every state. For instance, in January 2025 alone, over $332 million was awarded for projects in 32 states. These grants are not just for big, flashy projects. They address fundamental safety needs. They are used to repave runways, install better lighting, and improve taxiway layouts to prevent aircraft from accidentally entering active runways. Every dollar is aimed at reducing risk and strengthening the infrastructure that protects us. Another key source of funding is the Airport Improvement Program, or AIP. This long-standing program is funded by taxes on airline tickets and aviation fuel, meaning that those who use the system contribute directly to its upkeep. The AIP provides about $3.3 billion every year for essential projects that maintain the safety and efficiency of our airports. These grants are the lifeblood for many smaller airports, allowing them to undertake critical safety projects they otherwise could not afford. Together, these federal programs form a comprehensive strategy to rebuild our aviation infrastructure and ensure it can meet the demands of modern air travel safely. To see how these national efforts translate into local safety, we can look at Tampa International Airport in Florida. In September 2024, the airport received over $5 million in grants from the Airport Improvement Program. This money was not for a new terminal or a fancy restaurant. It was for critical safety enhancements that passengers might never see. One grant, for $2.1 million, is being used to build a temporary flood barrier. This barrier will protect the airfield's electrical and lighting vaults from flooding during severe weather, ensuring that the runway lights stay on and the airport can continue to operate safely, even in a storm. Another $3 million grant awarded to Tampa is dedicated to improving the safety areas around its runways and taxiways. Over time, turf can build up along the edges of the pavement, which can cause poor drainage and create hazardous conditions for aircraft that might veer off the runway. This funding will allow the airport to regrade these areas, improving drainage and making them safer. These may sound like small details, but in aviation, safety is built on getting the details right. Projects like these directly address vulnerabilities and reduce the risk of accidents, showing how federal funding is making a tangible difference at the local level. The story of our aviation infrastructure is one of challenges, but it is also one of progress and commitment. The government is investing billions to modernize technology and rebuild our airports. Airports like Tampa are using that funding to make smart, targeted improvements that enhance safety for every flight. and dedicated air traffic controllers continue to manage our skies with professionalism, even under difficult circumstances. But the work is far from over. Ensuring the long-term health and safety of our aviation system requires sustained investment, attention, and public support. It is a shared responsibility that affects all of us. The safety of our skies is not something we can take for granted. It depends on modern infrastructure, adequate staffing, and the vigilant work of thousands of professionals. As informed citizens, we all have a role to play in supporting this vital system. By staying aware of the issues and understanding the importance of these investments, we can help ensure that policymakers continue to prioritize aviation safety. The next time you fly, remember the complex network of people and technology working together to get you there safely. Their success is our safety. If you found this look into our aviation infrastructure insightful, please help us raise awareness. Subscribe to our channel, like this story, comment with your thoughts, and share it with others. Your support helps keep this important conversation going.